I had a wonderful surprise a few minutes ago. The pest control people that used to spray my apartment for bugs or whatever, and I've since then stopped using a long time ago. I use food grade diatomaceous earth. It's like a revengeful way of killing bugs. What it does, that diatoms actually single cell. I'm assuming plants, because plants have and animals don't. But anyway, diatomaceous earth is food grade. It uses an anti-caking, and then also you can take it internally to kill bugs in you. It's like little bitty fine sand, grains of sand. Anyway, I was talking to this guy from, and it was like I was done with the talking, but I was glad to see him because 6 years ago when I determined that what had been happening to me for years was what they call a targeted individual gang stalking. It started off like in 2010 as I was retiring. I retired March 19th, 2010. It was my first day of retirement after that, putting 20 years of work, actually 21 years of work in the state of California. That's who I get my pension from. When I was swatted 3 times, literally 3 times, 3 o'clock in the morning. I know now that's a Masonic type thing. And they weren't like a SWAT team with an insignia on their thing like said Memphis PD, not Memphis. I need to smell the teeth. Um, it didn't have like San Francisco Police Department or anything like SWT. It was just blank. It was 4 guys each time dressed from head to toe in a black Gestapo outfits. And it was pretty terrorizing. The first time I was like, eh. Second time was really scared. I knew it was serious, and I went to the police for that, and he pretty much brushed me off. The third time, I was just like, resign, do what you got to do. Now I know what it is. It's pre-crime. They come after people like me who are don't fit the archetypes they need, like the alpha male. Excuse me, alpha male. I'm not that. Beta. That's why I didn't look into those things. The chart alpha, beta, omega, delta, delta, omega, whatever. Neither of those things. But the Sigma, I'm the one off to the side, who marched to the beat of my own drum. And anyway, they came after me because every day at work and at home, I would learn everything I could about 911. I was obsessed with it, like I am with most things. I'll go into it and study it forever and forever. It's the lovely Bill Gates. Um, and so I studied that, and I just come to the conclusion that they were after me because of that. You don't supposed to look at things closely. Like for instance, something that's happening right now. The man who penned our national anthem, "Oh, say can you see Francis Scott Key?" Well, the bridge in Baltimore was knocked down. Guess who? The harbor master said the pilot of the boat, the captain of the boat, was from Ukraine, and they threaten more of those type incidents all over Europe if they don't get enough money to keep killing Ukrainians for that, you know, Victoria Nuland. But anyway, yeah, you gotta look at things deeply. Oh, and also the thing just happened in Russia where a concert hall was burned down. A lot of people were shot, and they captured those so-called terrorists. To me, it doesn't make sense in that Russia is pretty much on the side of the Muslim people in the Middle East. There's a manufacturing program between Russia and Iran where Iran is manufacturing 6,000 drones in a Russian plant. And Russia and China and Iran have been doing naval exercises off the coast in the Middle East, showing their support for the Muslim people. So why should the Muslims go shoot up Russia? Doesn't make sense. They don't add up. They expect everybody to be stupid and see things in a very simplistic way when it really is simple. Though it doesn't make sense that Russians would shoot up, Muslims would shoot up Russia. Um, there was also an incident where a few weeks ago, after October 7th, that Muslims in some city in Russia, it was in Moscow, it was some smaller city, rushed the airport. They were doing some very nasty things to a plane that was coming from the Middle East, but luckily nobody was hurt. The plane didn't land. And what I'm saying is the Russian authorities, police authorities, didn't do anything. They just let it happen if it would have happened. So the whole thing about Muslims shooting up the Russian, Crocus Entertainment Center, and it's all bull, and burning it down, it's all bull. Thing about the bridge that went down in Baltimore is all bull. It did go down. Oh, 4 illegals were there, Mexican Governors, why did you let it happen to, what, 10 million people all up in our country? I'm just talking on, oh, targeting. I was going about targeting. First time I was targeting, I was overtly targeted, with, like I said, SWAT like teams 3 times in 3 months at 3 o'clock in the morning. It left to scar me. I wanted to live in San Francisco for the rest of my life. At that point, I had been in there 34 years. And I stayed until November. They started January, February, March. I stayed there until I couldn't take it anymore, so I left. Went to Puerto Rico. And I lost my rent controlled housing. I really wanted, that was my home. But I've been here in Memphis for like 12 years, the worst place in the world. It's a place where people are so, I don't know, lost. For instance, at my alma mater, where I got my degree 40 years ago, a bachelor's degree in business, it's useless. But I got a degree from the University of Memphis, that's what it's called now. But it was Memphis State when I was there for, except I went to 76, so other places I went to. But when I left there, it was different in the 70s. Black people were totally different. It's 2 generations hence, things have gone really wrong. For instance, Kyle Rittenhouse, who I think is an American hero, he speaks uh, beautifully to the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, especially in the time where you need to protect your life. He's found not guilty because he was defending himself against 3 people who wanted to kill him. But Black Lives Matter, the Memphis chapter was going like crazy. They're reading it wrong. This is all in the background where in a city like Memphis, there's 400 homicides a year, actually 397. When I moved here in 2012, it was 200 a year. And so people like Kyle Rittenhouse, Second Amendment people, are not the problem. Really not. I'm not saying black people are the problem. I think a lot of this is mind control. I even think this one-on-one black on black violence is mind control. That's why I'm talking about targeting individuals, a real thing. Like for instance, in the last 4 years, a lot of people got that. They actually have MAC addresses inside their bodies. I'm not. It's the truth. They've done experience, the anecdotal experience of folks in France and other different places, showing that people have a MAC address. Same kind of thing that's in your computer, in your television, in your cell phone. That means if you have a MAC address inside your body, they can do things. They can send signals of sorts to you. Maybe things that can shock you, or he can hear things that are not really being said in and you can see things. It sends signals to you. You've got a MAC address, like your TV, like your computer, like your phone. But a lot of things are happening. Yeah, it was a nice visit to see my pest control people, which was like Minority Report. They sent, for instance, the people who would cook pest control. The first person they sent to me. This is after I made my first video 6 years ago about being a targeted individual. The first person they sent to me reminds me of Kanye West's personal bodyguard. Just like it. I said, and it was like amazing. We had a few talks, and I just knew someone was off after the fourth or fifth time. So why are you talking to me? I mean, that interesting. Like 20, 30 minutes. It was going to other houses. And I eventually found out it was some kind of cover. Not the company itself, but any these people that control us, they can take any company and use their methods to monitor you and see your work. And after I ran him out, I'd say, like, you actually an MMA fighter. I told him, I'd say, you are a kickboxer. Because I remember that guy in the gym in San Francisco, big, tall, 6'2" guy was a kickboxer. He wore the same type of, like, slightly bell bottom, loose pants and stuff. He's an MMA fighter. After I figured out who he was some deep state monitoring stalker. The second person they sent was also like, you remember this actor called Carl Weathers? He was a former football player turned actor, just like O.J. Simpson, just like Jim Brown, just like there's a lot of them. Carl Weathers actually was one of Stallone and Rocky. So all of these people at Cook's Pest Control look like they were not part of. You have an idea how people look about the type of job they have. Like you think a plumber should be a beer gut, pants hanging down, see the crack of his ass. That's a plumber. But you don't think that all the people who are supposed to be killing bugs should be look like physical specimens that look like. I knew it was a popo, some Masonic deep state craziness, and they kept sending it over and over again. Finally, said one guy was short, but he was like a gymnast. He was the same, but he was like 5'6", big broad shoulders, muscles. I said, this stuff goes deep. This stuff goes deep. Then I even have my local people around here. They're say my landlord. Some things have been happening with them, but it doesn't happen as much anymore. But I put it all out there 6 years ago. I think they came at me today because I had it on both my computers. I showed the whole. I do think I speak with pictures because the algorithms they won't let you say certain things now. People are learning. They get in their own platforms. The mainstream media stuff it goes and yeah. But it's I don't make videos this long. I really don't. I'm gonna end this year. Yeah, I'm gonna target individuals and some things. The electronic stuff is still really happening. The shocks and shocks. It's horrible. That's supposed to be going out of town for a while, but I'm gonna see if I can fast for the next few days and make it easier for myself. So take care. This is long winded. I don't talk like this because they're not gonna short anyway. Take care of yourselves.